A true champion on and off the ice, Ryan McDonagh joins today's show to talk about hockey fights cancer and the Body Check Cup. Plus, will former Lightning first-round draft pick Isaac Howard take home the Hobey Baker Award?
You're Locked On Lightning, your daily podcast on the Tampa Bay Lightning, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Josh Sperber welcoming you to another episode of Locked On Lightning and thanking all of you for making Locked On Lightning your first listen every day. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And if your team is the Tampa Bay Lightning, then this is the show for you. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new FanDuel customers can get $200 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. And one thing that you can bet on is Ryan McDonagh will be joining the show a little bit later on. But first, we're going to talk about college hockey. Really, one player in college hockey, a 20-year-old who turns 21 in 10 days, the Lightning's first-round draft pick in 2022, Isaac Howard, who was named a finalist for the prestigious Hobey Baker Award and is one of 7 who has already been drafted onto an NHL team. Players that have been drafted by the Capitals, Stars, Blues, Lightning, Predators, Panthers, and Wild are among the 10 finalists for the Hobey Baker Award. But the Big Ten Player of the Year, Isaac Howard, is the Lightning's representative in that race. And he was an all Big Ten honorable mention last year, doubled his goal scoring productivity from last year, and finishing the regular season with 24 goals and 23 assists, 5th most points in all of Division I hockey. He earned his 100th career point at Michigan State. And it is clear that Isaac Howard is one of the best players in college hockey. 24 goals and 23 assists with a plus 19 in 35 games. The only year in his amateur career that he had a better performance was in 60 games, where he finished plus 31 with the U18 U.S. national team, dishing out 49 assists and scoring 33 goals. But since he has turned 18, this was the best year of Isaac Howard's career. The best player in the Big Ten, and now maybe the best player in all of college hockey. And I think that if you take a look at some of the standings, if you take a look at just the improvement that we have seen from Isaac Howard over the last year, even, it is remarkable. And to me, it just doesn't, I just don't know if I can pick any other player to take home this award. Boston College is the only team ahead of Michigan State in the rankings, and Ryan Leonard might be the main favorite to catch Isaac Howard. Leonard is tied on points with Isaac with 5 more goals and 5 fewer assists in the same amount of games. 1 year the junior of Isaac Howard, and draft selection already of the Washington Capitals. So 2 of the top teams in the NCAA hockey represented by this Hobey Baker Award announcement. But I really think that Howard has a shot. I mean, you have a guy on the top team in the country who, by the way, has a teammate tied with him in points as well. Ryan Leonard is even with Gabe Perreault of Boston College with 47 points. 32 assists, though. Perreault has the advantage, but 15 goals. So there are 2 players that have 47 points in 35 games on Boston College's team. There is 1 player on the number 2 team in the country that has the same amount of points, and no one else makes the top 50 for Michigan State in terms of points allowed. Meanwhile, Boston College, the top team in the nation, has 2 of the top 6 players in points scored. So I think it's hard to say that Isaac Howard has had a better season than any of these guys. But I certainly think it's more impactful to his team. Michigan State, a team that is usually up there in the rankings, but not always the best, while Boston College has been one of the blue bloods of college hockey for years now. Isaac Howard is far and away the most important player, the best player on this Michigan State hockey team. And he's certainly not carrying the offense. You can't get to 25 wins in college hockey with just one star player. But I think it's clear he has the similar role that Nikita Kucherov has on his NHL team, the Lightning's offense, where the offense runs through him. Isaac Howard is always going to be the point man. He's always going to have the puck on his stick at one point or another, whether he's going to fling it to a teammate or just going to go in for the shot himself. Isaac Howard is always playing such a big role in the Michigan State offense. And when you compare that to the role of Ryan Leonard, I don't know if Leonard's role is as important to Boston College's offense than Howard's is to Michigan State's offense. And this is different than the MVP awards that you see in most other sports, because it is not necessarily the most valuable player. The two people higher than Isaac Howard when it comes to points scored in the Hobie that are also Hobie Baker Award finalists, Aiden Fink, who has played 2 more games than Isaac Howard, and Jack Devine of Denver, who has played 4 more games than Isaac Howard or Leonard. And I think in a lot of pundits' eyes, it could be a 2-man race between Howard and Leonard, playing 35 games, maybe not the entirety of the season, but still putting up points as good as anyone else in the country. So I think the points advantage that Aiden Fink and Jack Devine might have could be nullified by the fact that both of them have scored those extra points in more games. It's 5 points in 2 extra games for Aiden Fink. And for Jack Devine, it is 6 points in an extra 4 games. Sorry, 7 points in an extra 4 games. And in terms of points per game as well, Isaac Howard and Ryan Leonard tied at 4th again with 1.34. So again, I don't think it's a guarantee that Howard is going to win it, but I certainly think he does have a shot. And I think that, Michigan State has gone on such a run and dominated one of the best teams or one of the best conferences in the NCAA with multiple ranked wins just over the last month. And Isaac Howard has been at the center of that. If I had a vote for the Hobie Baker Award, Isaac Howard would have it. Now the real question is that going to prompt him to go pro even sooner? He is still young. Howard, again, just 20 years old, and is a junior. First team All Big Ten, academic All Big Ten, scoring champion, Big Ten Player of the Year, preseason All Big Ten. I mean, I don't know how much more he can do in the NCAA. Obviously, the Lightning do need to wait another year until they can get him, but I don't think we'll see too long in the minor leagues for Isaac Howard. I really can imagine something similar to the way that they treated Connor Geekie. Maybe they'll need him for a little bit of forward depth. I think the lack of depth at the beginning of the season certainly helped Geekie land a place on the opening day roster. Things look different now. If the Lightning keep their roster, obviously it's a year from now. You never know what's going to happen with Isaac. He might, you never know what can happen. A lot of things can change, but if he keeps playing the way he's playing now, I think the Lightning will do everything they can to get him up to the NHL as fast as possible. I really don't foresee too long of a time in the AHL or ECHL or any other minor league for Isaac Howard, and I fully expect him to be expedited to the Lightning because right now he not only looks like a late first round steal 2 years ago for Tampa, pushing 3, but he also looks like one of the best young hockey players in the country. And I'm really excited to see his game translate to the NHL level. Another NHL player who might be excited about seeing Isaac Howard is Ryan McDonagh. And I say him specifically, not for any relation to Isaac Howard, but because he's coming on the show next. Ryan McDonagh has partnered with Hockey Fights Cancer and is helping to promote the Body Check Cup, making sure that hockey fans around the world get themselves checked for cancer so that if they do have it, it can get caught in the early stages. We'll chat with Ryan McDonagh coming up next about the Lightning season, but most importantly about Hockey Fights Cancer and the Body Check Cup.
Did you know getting a good night's sleep is the #1 recipe for long-term success in life? I didn't. It took me way longer to realize than I'd like to admit. It was years of tossing and turning. I was always tired. I never felt like I could live up to my potential, but not anymore. Thanks to Bear Mattress. I used their sleep quiz and I matched with the Elite Hybrid. It's perfect for side sleepers like me. Now I wake up energized. I'm getting deeper sleeps and I'm ready to attack the day. No matter how you sleep, Bear Mattress has a match for you with a focus on recovery, cooling, and pressure relief to upgrade your sleep and improve your overall quality of life. Go to bearmattress.com and use promo code LOCKEDONNHL at checkout for 40% off site-wide. This offer is not available anywhere else. You have to use my promo code on the very last page of checkout to get this discount. That's bearmattress.com and use promo code LOCKEDONNHL for 40% off site-wide. Bearmattress.com, promo code LOCKEDONNHL.
Welcome back into Locked On Lightning. Josh Sperber here, and I'm excited to be joined by a very special guest, Lightning alternate captain, Ryan McDonagh. Ryan, thanks so much for taking the time to come on our show today.
Oh, thanks for having me on.
Well, we're here to talk about Hockey Fights Cancer, which is a program that you've been involved with, especially recently, but I'm sure there's some connection that got started before you returned to the Lightning back in 2024. How did you get started, and what made you decide to partner with Hockey Fights Cancer?
Yeah, ever since I've been in the league, the NHL has done a great job with this campaign, spreading the message of inspiration and the different battles that people are fighting. And so I was approached by AstraZeneca to partner with them about a screening campaign called getbodycheck.com, where we're trying to advocate for people to get screened ahead of time, even if you don't have any symptoms of cancer, where you might be able to find something in the earlier stages, have a better percentage of beating it, come out healthy and no issues. 1 in 2 men end up having cancer in their life. 1 in 3 women do. So it's very possible at some point you will, but just to make it a regular thing, and there's no repercussions from getting screened. It's a pretty smooth thing. And like I said, if we can help people get ahead of things and help their chances of beating it, if there is any cancer at all, then that would be huge. So was excited about the message and happy to be a part of it.
Obviously, it's a very important cause, something that hits home for people, not just in the NHL. I mean, kind of how did the Body Check Cup come about, in terms of trying to just spread more awareness and trying to get, more people checking themselves out to make sure that they're staying safe?
Yeah, well, hockey fans are almost as competitive as us players, and so I think it's a great thing set up by AstraZeneca, where fans of each team can log in, represent their team from the Tampa Bay market. The team with the most fans signed up to get screened, automatically all get entered in to win great prizes, and one of them being a free trip to the Hockey Hall of Fame with you and a guest. So I think it's a hockey fan's dream to possibly be able to go do that, and while getting yourself screened and checked out. Like I said, hockey fans are super competitive. It's a fun way to take care of yourself and also root on for your team, for your market, the different fans in the community where you're from. And like I said, just to be able to spread that message means a lot to me, because I've obviously met a lot of people, had some family and close friends that have had to fight cancer and are still fighting cancer today. So anything to help spread a message that might help somebody in the future, I'm glad to be a part of it.
And this is something that you've been involved with for most of your career, I feel like. I mean, what makes this cause so important to you?
I think just the different people that you meet, like I said, family, certain family members have had to deal with it, close friends, and the inspiration that they have on me and my wife, my family, the continued fight that they have, just their positive attitude during the treatments. Nothing seems too big for them. They're willing to go to the extremes to try to beat this thing, and all while living a happy, positive life. So it really puts things in perspective for you, for my wife, for my family. And like I said, the NHL has kind of set a precedent, early on in my career of having this great campaign. So I'm happy to be part of spreading a message like this today.
And obviously, one of the reasons I feel like you might have come back to the Lightning is because of the strong community history. I know it's something that you've talked about in your first stint with the team. How has the rest of the Lightning organization and the community kind of pitched in your efforts to help champion this cause?
Yeah, the community in Tampa is really special. Everybody, pulls for one another, has each other's back. It was no ever more evident here with the recent hurricanes and everybody helping check on people's homes and belongings. Just another sign of the community and the strength that is Tampa Bay, and all of our great fans and people that live there. Myself and Alex Killorn, we put on a charity event a few years back to raise funds for Moffitt Cancer Centers, and sure enough, the fans showed up for that. We raised a lot of great money for families and people that had to go there for treatment that weren't able to have the necessary funds per se. So like I said, it's been a precedent probably set by Mr. Vinnick and the ownership of how much they give back to the community each home game, recognizing a community hero and giving out tons of money to different charities and people that way. So I think it's kind of spread to us as players to do our part too, as far as whether it's sharing a message like this or putting on events like for ourselves to help raise funds for certain things. It's been awesome to see the fans support the players and vice versa. It's a great place to live, and like I said, a great community.
And I mean, you've gotten help from Alex Killorn, you mentioned. Obviously, he's no longer with the team. I mean, do you still kind of coordinate with other Lightning players, with other NHL players, just to keep spreading the word out there? I mean, how is your connection with so many different players you've played with in this league helped you in this cause?
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, like I said, we put on our own event back then. All of our players showed up. It was something that was similarly done by former players that I played with, former teammates of mine. So you look back, you go and support a player's event, then you put one on for yourself, and you hope more guys do that, and each player on your team kind of finds their niche, so to speak. We've got guys supporting all sorts of different causes, and like I said, myself and Alex felt passionately about trying to raise funds for Moffitt Cancer Center, and now partnering with AstraZeneca to spread a very important message, and we'll just continue to do our part.
And we're going to talk a little bit more about the Body Check Cup in a minute, but just with other hockey fights cancer initiatives, excuse me, what are some other great ways for fans, whether in the Tampa community or beyond, to get involved and help, help raise awareness and help try and beat cancer?
Well, certainly, I mean, if the Moffitt Cancer Centers are a big part of our Tampa community. They're one of the most well-known cancer centers in the country. You've got Tampa General Hospital, which is a great resource as well. There's a children's cancer center as well that myself and Steven Stamkos visited many times, once with the Stanley Cup. So it doesn't really matter what age, if you get the news that you have cancer, there's different resources, different places to help you. And if you're somebody that wants to get involved, I would just look up those places, see if you can volunteer at all. And also look into like I said, specifically AstraZeneca's getbodycheck.com, for yourself to get screened, have some peace of mind, or like I said, get ahead of this thing and, give yourself the best chance to beat anything if there is anything at all.
And for people, for just everyone around there, how can you get involved with the Body Check Cup? How can you support the Tampa Bay Lightning and help them try to win their first cup of the year?
Yeah, log into the website, sign up, register, tell the other fans in the stands to do it as well. Other people in the community, like I said, if we have the highest number of people, you give yourself a great chance to win prizes and potentially a trip to the Hockey Hall of Fame, but more importantly, people getting screened, the most people in the area, like I said. So it is a great cause. I thought it was a great idea. The competitive spirit of hockey fans is second to none. So it's a great way to take care of yourself and also have a little bit of competitive fun along the way.
And obviously, as you said, everyone loves a good competitive time. Currently, the Lightning sit in 10th place with 1425 points. The Chicago Blackhawks lead the way. So it's still great to see so many people participating. Almost more than half the NHL teams have over 1,000 points in the Body Check Cup already. So it's already really great to see that it's having an impact on the community. And the Tampa community, is that, I mean, can you tell me how much that community meant to you and how it influenced your decision to come back to Tampa at the beginning of this year?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it was evident early on that maybe it isn't known universally as a hockey market, but when you get down there, the fans are incredible. They show up every night, win or lose, and they support you in the community. They recognize you. They say thank you for all your hard work and effort. The schools there are fantastic. It's like I said, a fantastic place to raise a family. Everybody is really supporting one another. First responders in the area, the hospitals, the cancer centers, like I talked about. It just seems like Tampa has so many great resources and the great people behind those resources, and that's what makes living there so special. And the organization, like I talked about, Mr. Vinnick, setting an example that he does each and every night, recognizing different community heroes, giving back to his employees now, having sold part of the team. I mean, what a gesture that was. It just goes to show that, when you're in the area and you live in that community, kind of everybody has your back. And like I said, the hurricanes showed up this fall. It was a scary time for a lot of people, and a lot of people have lost their home and belongings, but you just hear and feel people checking in. Everybody's checking in on one another. How can you help? And that makes you just want to live in a place like this and make the fans that show up and cheer for us proud by giving a great effort each and every night.
And of course, it is a great community of fans, a community that has helped sell out Amalie Arena for over 10 years now. And they certainly love having you out in front of them. And remember, you can support Ryan McDonagh and AstraZeneca's campaign in the Body Check against cancer and Hockey Fights Cancer by going to bodycheckcup.com. bodycheckcup.nhl.com to take a look at some of the materials and how you get involved, getting yourself checked out, and making sure that you're staying safe and staying progressive against cancer.
The NCAA tournament is here, and so is the Bracket Breakdown.
Locked On Podcast Network and Amazon Fire TV channels are teaming up to deliver NCAA tournament coverage like never before. Watch studio shows featuring former players and Locked On's local experts as they guide you through every upset, buzzer beater, and bracket matchup.
Stream it all for free on Amazon Fire TV channel. Search Bracket Breakdown to see it all for free.
It's your team every day.
March Madness is here, and FanDuel is giving you the chance to get in on the action like never before. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. That's 200 extra bucks to use on everything from buzzer beaters to Cinderella stories and who's cutting down the nets. I've got an eye on a couple of underdogs this year, and FanDuel makes it easy to back them with spreads, totals, and game props. With tournament games happening almost every day, there's always something exciting to bet on. The FanDuel app is simple, easy to use, and when I win, I get paid instantly without any waiting around. So visit FanDuel.com and get in on the college hoops action all tournament long. And it's a approaching a milestone game for you as well. It's going to be 4 games away from 1,000, assuming you're in the lineup against the Stars. I mean, have you thought about that milestone in your career?
Yeah, obviously, I kind of knew of the potential at the start of the season, and obviously now it's getting closer. You can't help but think about it a little bit. But really, what stands out to me is you start to think about all the great coaches, the great teammates that you've had, the memories you've had, in different locker rooms, different playoff runs. The relationships that are still with you today, that the teammates and coaches that you stay in contact with. That's what makes this game so special, and that's kind of what's coming to the forefront for me when approaching this milestone. Obviously, the tremendous support that I have from my wife and family and parents and brothers and whatnot, that have supported me throughout my career, and all that they've done, to give me this great opportunity. But like I said, hockey is a special game, and to be able to hit this milestone, you can't help but think of all the great people that you've met over the course of your career.
And certainly plenty of great players that you've met and played with on the Tampa Bay Lightning. One of them just got back a couple of weeks ago. I mean, how is that addition of not just Yanni Gourde, who was with you for those championships, but also Oliver Bjorkstrand? How have those new moves really changed the outlook on the Lightning's home stretch of the season?
Yeah, no doubt. You're talking about two veterans with some experience in the league. Yanni obviously winning with us, knowing what it takes. You don't have to, I don't have to tell the fans about his passion, his energy that he brings each and every night. He's an energizer bunny for us, and kind of can play anywhere in your lineup. And same thing with Bjorkstrand. He's obviously getting used to a new city and a new team, but slowly but surely here he's been, showing signs of great play, and just really loved his attitude as far as wanting to help the team. And that's kind of how we've had success in the past, is that, nobody kind of asks for any certain ice time or roles. We let the coaches decide where we play and who goes over the boards each and every shift. And we just accept it, and know the benefits and the results that can happen when you have great buy-in. And Bjorkstrand's been huge for that. And just kind of gives us so much versatility in our lineup. If somebody's banged up or having an off night, you can bump them up and down, and we can throw different line combinations at teams too. And it's been fun so far, and can't wait to see where it takes us.
And obviously, these are two guys that you didn't have the last time you played the Stars back in November. What makes this matchup against Dallas so difficult?
Yeah, they're a deep team like us up front, and got some big physical D-men that really skate well. And even with, I think Heiskanen's still out, but with him in that lineup, it's even scarier. But the goaltending's huge too, and it's no coincidence they're one of the top teams in the West, and we struggled against them. Lost to them at home, and it's been a while. And they obviously made a big addition that's pretty well known around the league now too. So that'll be interesting to see the combinations with him in the lineup. But yeah, they always play really well at home. Their crowd is really loud and energetic behind them, and so we know these are 3 teams on this road trip. Dallas being the first that we don't see too often, but it's a huge test for us. All through our lineup, everybody's got to be ready to go, and be a tough match to get 2 points for sure.
And I mean, you've talked about some of the big defenders, the goalie play, but is there any key players you feel like, all right, I need to shut this guy down when you're facing Dallas?
Well, every time I feel like I look up the box score for Dallas, it seems like Matt Duchene's got 1 or 2 points each and every night. He's having a huge season. Got to know him a little bit in Nashville, and seeing his work ethic, his preparation, his determination kind of firsthand. And you're seeing, Dallas seeing the fruits of it this season for sure. And even last year in the playoffs, having some clutch moments for them. So you can tell when Duchene's playing well, he's got some confidence. He's playing with so much pace. He's kind of moving effortlessly out there, and his hands are moving. He's seeing plays happen, and dishing the puck really well. So I think with him is that, he makes the guys on the ice better around him. So if you can kind of take away his time, maybe take away some of his playmaking ability as best you can, it kind of, hopefully has a trickle down for us to be a little bit more successful against the team tomorrow night.
And obviously, the last game against Dallas was months ago, in a different year than we are right now. There's been a lot that must have changed. I mean, what looks different about the Lightning for tonight's game against the Stars rather than the game against Dallas back in November?
Yeah, well, I think we're starting to get a little bit more identity. You start to figure out where young guys are fitting in your lineup. We had Geeky up for half the year, and now he's down in Syracuse. So we've got some changes, obviously additions with the two guys, but I think we're starting to form a good identity as far as kind of the forechecking game, a little bit more sustained pressure. Obviously, we love to make plays on the rush and show our skill there and have that playmaking ability. But as you go in the season here, certainly in the playoffs, those rush opportunities are less and less just because of the great back pressure that you're going to face each and every night. So you're going to need those, grinding ozone shifts where, you cycle the puck, you get it up top and you shoot a little bit more as opposed to, looking for the perfect play. We had a great game against Boston and had a ton of shots, one of our highest shot attempt totals of the year, and kind of a statement game for us as far as the identity that we want to carry. And maybe didn't do it quite as well against Philly the other night, but we want to try to get back to that, make some teams defend, have quick transition, get right back in the zone, and have a little bit more shot scramble game to us as opposed to skills and playmaking.
And the transition is exactly what I wanted to talk about next, because I feel like the way that the Lightning defenders are just so smooth at moving the puck up the ice and just switching it from defense to offense. I mean, can you talk about that a little bit? Like what your role, the defensive role in the offense for your line and the rest of the defense in Tampa?
Yeah, no doubt. Like I said, we want to play with pace, and part of that pace is, distributing the puck quick up to the forwards, letting them carry it in with speed if there's a chance, or not, putting it to an area where they can get on the forecheck first and foremost. We work on it a ton in practice. We look at clips where, sometimes we slow the play down when we should have played a little bit faster, moved it north right away. And that's what we're trying to fine tune is those opportunities where we can quick strike them and keep them hemmed in their zone as opposed to waiting and maybe looking for a rush chance that isn't really there. So the onus is on us as D-men to make those reads and get up in the play if need be. But most importantly, try to keep our forward speed as much as possible to sustain a great forecheck like we have.
And a big part of the defense is the goaltender, a former goalie myself. Obviously, I'm looking really closely at this goalie matchup between two of the best in the league. How much easier is it for a defender to play in front of a goalie like Andrei Vasilevsky? And just, I mean, how great is it to have him on the Lightning?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, you talk about a complete package, someone that's, clutch in big moments, so focused, so prepared, not afraid to go out, play the puck, on rims and breakouts. There's like a third defender back there for us at times. And just his consistency, right? Like you talked about, any goalie that's great in this league, has to be consistent. And he's shown that throughout his whole career. So we know if we, do half of what we need to do up front, he's going to give us a great chance to win each and every night. So that gives you confidence each night going into a road building or a home game that, if we play, pretty close to our potential and stick to the plan up front, he's going to give us a great chance. And that's all you can ask for is someone that makes the saves that you need and goes above and beyond at times too, and takes away goals too when there is some breakdowns, and he does that better than anyone.
And as a team, obviously, you yourself don't want to be in the penalty box. You don't want anyone on the Lightning to be in the penalty box. But whether the Lightning are a man up or a man down, they're in the top 10 in the league in those categories. So how big is that power play, that penalty kill been, especially lately for you guys and your recent success?
Yeah, I feel like all our teams have been really, really strong in special teams throughout my career with the Lightning. And we work on it a ton. The coaching staff does a ton of video. And certainly you need, some smart players, making great hockey reads at high paces, specifically on the penalty kill. And you need that sacrifice too. You need those guys that are willing to block shots, take a hit to get a puck out. And we have that for sure. And if you're not willing to do that, there's a good chance you're not going to be on our units here in Tampa. And certainly with the power play, that's where our skill can really flourish. And no doubt, obviously, kind of revolves around Kucherov and what his playmaking ability is. And but like I said, we work on it a ton. And the guys, we don't take it for granted when they go over the boards in those situations. They work hard and they know that can be the difference in a game, in the playoffs. is one PK, one power play can be the difference. And so we're really focused each and every opportunity that we go out there to get the job done.
And obviously, it seems like you guys are very well prepared for the Stars game. And Ryan, I really want to thank you for coming on today's episode of Locked On Lightning and wish you best of luck for the game against Dallas. But before I do let you go, I just want you to remind our viewers and listeners one more time how you can get involved with Hockey Fights Cancer and Body Check Against Cancer for the rest of this season.
Yeah. Go check out getbodycheck.com. AstraZeneca, has created a website where, no matter where you live, you can find a way to get screened for cancer beforehand. Smooth, easy process. Get yourself checked out, have some peace of mind, or catch something hopefully early where you can get ahead of it. And then, create a little competitive spirit where there's the Body Check Cup that each team's market, the fans can try to win. And if that team wins it, those fans get an opportunity to win some great prizes, potentially a trip to the Hockey Hall of Fame. It's just a great initiative. Happy to spread the message here and hope fans really take the time to participate and have some fun with it.
Well, you heard it from Ryan. Make sure to visit the website for Get Body Checked Against Cancer and for Hockey Fights Cancer. Ryan, thank you again. We really appreciate your time here. We're certainly going to be rooting for you against the Stars, but we're also going to be rooting for everyone in the fight against cancer.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks so much.
And thanks again to Ryan McDonagh, and thank all of you for making Locked On Lightning your first listen today. Now, for your second listen, make sure to check out the Locked On NHL podcast, bringing you the daily league-wide stories that matter with the local coverage you love from Locked On. Find Locked On NHL on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcasts. And on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcast, please make sure to give us a like, a follow, a subscribe, and follow us on X at @LO_Lightning. We do really appreciate your support. So thank you again for tuning in, and go Bolts. Have a great day, everyone.